a Wednesday night product experience and training call. It's intended for the exclusive use of Immunotech distributors. As such, the products from Immunotech do not cure anything, but as Hippocrates said some 2,500 years ago, let food be thy medicine, simply the most important foods you can use, Immunocal, Immunocal Platinum, as well as our other great products. So Dr. White, as we're talking about tonight on the importance of having a quote-unquote normalized immune system, and this normalized immune system and how important that is in what we're doing, okay, and how that affects what we're talking about. And I know earlier today we were talking about the fact that on any given day there's between 100,000 and 1 million cancer cells in the average person's body being created on an ongoing basis, right?
That's right, yeah. Some people think it's caused by outside things. No, you make them yourself. They're just cells that are not properly made, and as a result, they are the seeds of cancer.
Right. So we've got this. So every day, our immune system launches the T cells, and they get locked into a battle with these cancer cells to eliminate them from our body, right?
That's right, one-on-one. Yeah.
So what we're dealing with at that point is having a normalized immune system with a normalized immune response is addressing this cancer threat that's in everybody's body on any given day, right?
That's right, yep. And in that process, you have to deal with it every day. Otherwise, it gets ahead of you, and then you've got a full-blown, you can't call it an infection, a destructive force within you if you don't take care of it every single day. That's why it's important to have Immunocal every day, right? That's the reason.
To have that normalized immune response. Okay? So
yeah, that's right.
That's what we're talking about. So this normalized immune response. So there's another thing that comes with the normalized immune response. When you look at allergies, what is an allergy? It's an abnormal immune response. That's what an allergic reaction is. It's an abnormal immune response to whatever the allergen is. Now, sometimes there's things that you need to have this major response to, but most people that are dealing with the day-to-day run-of-the-mill quote-unquote allergies, it's because of an abnormal immune response. And we're very honored tonight to have our good friend Randy May out of Nebraska. So, Randy, you were introduced to Immunotech. You want to share people your story, please, my man?
I'd be glad to. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Randy May. I live in a small rural community halfway between Denver and Omaha. The name of the community is Cozad. Lived here all of my life. Went away for school for 8 years. Came back and been here the rest of my life. When I first recollect any kind of information coming to me about health, it was my mother telling me about how I suffered allergies as a baby, and I was allergic to her breast milk. I was allergic to cow's milk. I was allergic to other forms of milk that they tried, but they finally found that I could drink goat's milk, and I didn't have such an allergic reaction, and so most of what I grew up on as a baby was goat's milk. During my maturation years, I remember having colds and flus, but it seemed like it was the same as everybody else around me. But my colds and flus continued on an annual basis where a lot of the people had outgrown that, evidently. I don't know. But when I got to college, I was still having colds and flus all the time, and other people that I knew that I'd gone to school with weren't having it. So my mother was right. I needed to be cautious about allergies, and I even got to a point where every spring and every fall I would have a bout with pneumonia. Sometimes they would hospitalize me, and sometimes I could just stay home for a couple of weeks and get through it, but I had at least one bout with pneumonia every spring, and I had at least one bout with the pneumonia every fall, just consistently, all the way through my life. I was introduced on Skype to a friend of mine from Ireland by the name of Don Hutchinson, and we were talking one day, and I was asking Don about what he had done in his past, and he told me about his business experiences of the past that were primarily in network marketing. And we got to visiting, and he said, "Have you heard about this new product called Immunocal?" And I said, "No, tell me about it." So he educated me. This was in 2015. He educated me about the products that he had learned about Immunocal, and then he also talked to me about the business opportunity that was available with the company, and so I was interested enough to join in May of 2015. I joined the Immunotech company as a consultant. But what's really important to me that I hope I never forget was within a week from that time of joining, I began consuming 2 packets of Immunocal Platinum every day. Every 24 hours. So that's an important time for me. I experienced what I would call nearly immediate results. I still had nasal and sinus allergies so bad that I was using a full roll of toilet paper every day just blowing my nose. And so within 24 hours of the time I started taking Immunocal, I recognized that I wasn't having to blow my nose so often. And it's gotten down now to where I'm using less than a roll a week. And it's normally just in the mornings. As soon as I get up, I have to discharge my nose a couple of times, and then I'm good for the rest of the day. And prior to using Immunocal, I had to deal with that nasal issue and that allergy issue in my head on a daily basis all day long. So that's really been something that I'm very happy about as far as taking the Immunocal. Like I said, my sinus drainage was so poor that I practically had to take a roll of toilet paper with me everywhere I went. So I had an annual physical in 2016, and that was in March. So I went from starting Immunocal in May of 2015 to March of 2016, and I had a major physical, which I do every 5 years. And I found when I went in and visited with the doctor afterwards to look at all of the results, he was real surprised, and he said that he wanted to point out that my PSA level had dropped considerably from the last time I was in there for my physical, and that all my cardiovascular indicators were excellent. And he mentioned that for a 69-year-old male, and that's the age I was then, so I was happy to hear that. When it came to talking about my eyes, he was somewhat perplexed because he was reading his notes from my last physical, and it had indicated that I had some serious cataract growth in both eyes, and that I would probably be looking at some type of surgery for those cataracts in the near future. And what baffled him was that he was reading these notes, and he's looking at my eyes, and he's reading these notes, and he's going back and looking at my eyes. There's no sign of cataracts whatsoever. So that was a good thing to hear. So I had another physical in 2021, and it revealed that my PSA had now dropped to 1.4, which is very low for a male that age. It was very hard for my doctor to explain, but I knew why, because I'd been taking Immunocal for 6 years. And there was no sign whatever that either eye had ever had a cataract. So with this great news, I began thinking about my pets. I had a 12-year-old white German Shepherd named Yanni who had hip and joint issues. I had a 22-year-old neutered male cat by the name of Little Bear. He had appetite issues, and he was losing weight, and he had really bad cataracts. So I started supplementing every time I made my Immunocal. I would give some to my dog, and I would give some to my cat. And my cat started eating better. He actually started gaining some weight, even at his age. And I was sitting here at the computer desk one day watching a Netflix movie, and something bumped my arm, and I looked over, and it was Little Bear, and he was watching the screen. He could see. So I took him the next Saturday morning, and I took him over to the vet and said, I want you to look at his eyes. And he said, my God, his cataracts are gone. So the only thing that I know that had changed with Little Bear was that he was eating Immunocal on a daily basis, regularly. So that was just really important to me that happened. And I started ingesting 2 packets a day, and I have maintained that. I take 2 packs of Immunocal Platinum every day, along with some of the daily essentials, and I've reduced my allergy symptoms to nearly zero. I've reduced my colds and flus to basically I've had one cold since 2015, and I haven't had any flu, and I haven't had any pneumonia, none of that since beginning Immunocal. It's revived my energy levels, improved my sleep quality, given me a physical well-being such that I just never concern myself when I'm exposed to people who don't seem well, because I know that my immune system can and will protect me. And every month, Immunotech now loads my Immunotech debit card with some commission that I've earned. So I'm just thrilled to death. So let me ask you, do you think that I'm grateful to Don for introducing me to this product called Immunotech?
I would think so, Randy.
I'm very grateful.
Absolutely. You know? Well, that's part of what we're talking about. Immunocal is a gift from God. You agree with that?
I believe that, yes, and I do agree with that.
So, Dr. White, this normalized immune response strikes again, right? Normalize your immune response, and good things happen, right, Dr. White?
That's right. Ready for what turns around the corner, and you got it licked as soon as you meet it, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Well, Randy, thank you for sharing that with us on this Wednesday night. We really appreciate that, and we're going to invite everybody to join us next Wednesday night for more. So, thank you so much for that.